Well. It's the end of the weekend for most or nearly all of us. So, how is everyone doing? It's been, well, a day or two. I say this every single time, but it's not like it's gonna change the amount of time that's passed. I hope everyone has been pretty good otherwise. I've been doing pretty well myself. I'm mostly just playing games and mostly just doing whatever it is I want in my free time. You know, I'll open up some of my game in the meanwhile. Hello, how's it going, guys? How have you been? Hello, Okami. Hello, Silent Scythe. What have you guys been up to for the weekend and whatnot? I'm just gonna set up a game in the background so that there's at least something that's, I don't know, visually stimulating at the same time. So it's not just looking at the background. And then, I don't know, I figured we'd talk a little bit about the AniManga Club and everything. Because I figured today, if not today, then one of these days, we should probably decide on what it is we want to begin reading together or watching together. So that sounds pretty good, right? Hopefully. Hopefully. Let me just adjust the size of the window. It's really finicky because I can't see it with OBS and everything. There we go. Now this should work. Okay, I've got to run like in the middle of the progress of one of them. So I'm playing Nikkei's new story content. I hope you enjoy it. It's so good, man. It's so good. I'm cooking right now. What are you cooking? What are you making? Do you have access to Nikkei merch in your area? No? Well, I have some Nikkei merch. I have an entire shelf for it. An entire shelf for all of my Nikkei-related merch and whatnot. Hopefully everything should be visible on screen here. I don't know, it doesn't give me the approximation for how big the screen is. And, well, I'm not gonna reveal where I am, but, you know, such is life. I do really want more Nikkei merch, though. I've been eyeing if they're gonna drop more Nikkei merch. I'm not a Celine guy. You're saying that just to annoy me. You're saying that just to annoy me with Poopline. Oh, right, it's a just chatting day? Yeah, of course it is. I wanted to, today, to figure out what it is we all want to be watching / reading together. I was thinking that, well, because no one pitched any suggestions. So that's that's a little bit funny, which means that I feel like today we have to come to a decision. So who's joining for the AniManga Club is the first question. We'll see as people trickle in whether or not that's something that interests them. Then we're going to see which show or which manga everyone is interested in watching. You can, then my friend, you need to use the AniManga roll or whatever, just so you know and so you've kept up with what it is. It's in the roles channel. In a Discord server. Oh, I can pitch enough suggestions for everyone and their whole family and friends. I can as well, but like I'm wanting to restrict it so that only one person can have one vote or one suggestion, because I fear that we may have a ridiculous amount of suggestions. Otherwise, just you and me alone might have a ridiculous amount of suggestions going on in every single one of the channels. How did that not trigger that? Oh well, but once you have the role and everything for it, then you should be able to pitch a suggestion. And I see what you've already suggested, Okami. Because you've suggested something like Hunter x Hunter, we're only going to read like a certain amount of it. I don't know how many episodes the first arc is comparative to the amount of manga chapters, but if we do something like that, we're only going to be reading or watching like a week or so. Where can I get the role? It should be in the roles channel. There's the AniManga Club button that you can click on, and then it gives you access, and then you have the ability to access all of the AniManga channels and whatnot, so that you're able to more easily navigate through it. It's also like as a keep track of this blah 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 thing. Oh my gosh, this guy just keeps gaining more and more defense. I think I might actually lose this because he keeps buffering and barricading every single peg, which is not cool. Read the entire Chimera Ant arc. That's crazy work. I don't think people are gonna be able to manage that. This guy sucks. Can I just say that? What a terrible enemy. What a terrible enemy. I know I ended it here because I knew I was gonna rage quit because he keeps killing me. It's just, he generates way too much HP. I can't do anything about it, and then he barricades every single peg, and he kills me. How lame. Okay, got it. Yeah, just let me know if you've got any questions, and I can try to clarify things, because I want to try streamline it so that it's easy for everyone. But, yeah. Actually, I think Greed Island is more fun. Greed Island was a really good arc, just in general. I don't know, maybe it's the gamification of everything, but I really enjoyed Greed Island. How far have you gotten with Bakuman, by the way, Og? I think I'm on episode 7 currently, something like that. Since I'm watching it every time I eat lunch or dinner, then I'm on episode 7 now, I think. Since it's on Wednesday, I watched 3 episodes, so yeah, about 7 now. So I'm about half. No, never mind. It's not a 12. It's not a 12 episode season. It's 25, isn't it? So I'm only a quarter of the way through, but I'm making slow but steady progress for it. Otherwise, I've been oh my gosh, with the Nikkei updates and everything, I've been listening to so much of Mustang's soundtrack. Evil Mustang soundtrack is so good. It is so ridiculously good. I need Cosmograph to add that to Spotify right now. Man, it's stuck in my head. It's 3 seasons of 25 episodes. I'm surprised that it has that many episodes and that many seasons. I was thinking to myself, like, oh, how have I not heard of this if it's ongoing for as long as it was, while also having that many episodes and everything? I think it really captures the characters in Hunter x Hunter really well. Killua's dependency, Gon's insanity, Bisky's selfishness, and the overarching selfishness of hunters altogether. I think so as well. I would probably say that and maybe this is attribution of it in real life as well. And games really showed people's true colors, how they behave and what goes on with them and whatnot. You know, I really feel oh my gosh. I really feel like video games are just such a good facet to explore something like that, because it brings out both competitive natures and whether or not what genre people like. I feel like even when it's gamified in terms of manga and whatnot, you still get the same idea of like, okay, well, it's easier to define what a character likes or how they behave in certain tense environments. Then again, most of them are put in life or death situations. But I really liked, for anyone who's not read it, I'll just not mention it, I suppose, if it is something that we end up reading. But one of the scenes with Gon in the Greed Island arc was so good. I can't mention it, but I think people who know. So you're like 1/12 of the way through. Yeah, I'm approximately 1/12 of the way through. Something like that. I hate that guy, but man, it's good. It really is. I'm trying to think to myself, like, what other anime or manga do this kind of, like, game show-ish? Well, it's not really a game show, but it's got, in a fantasy world, a gamification of all of their rules and, like, of abilities and powers and whatnot. But I don't know how in-depth the lore goes into some of these, like, explanations as to why or how Greed Island works. At least for all I know, Greed Island is just a very cool arc, and it's very entertaining to watch for the large part. Especially when it gets to some of the climaxes. And then it brings up some interesting questions as well, with how the abilities work and what it means for the Hunter x Hunter world, I suppose. Because, I don't know, they had to have like a certain level of their Hunter's licenses or whatever to get over there, so... maybe suggestion action anime, since it seems more accessible for most people. I'm thinking, yo, Virtual, or most people are receptive to that. Are more receptive to that. I'm not sure. I mean, you're free to vote for whatever you want, but the final decision is ultimately with me, and I think that's something that I'll consider, like, to what extent or how intense does everyone feel they want to have the reading schedule, their watching schedule, or what it is they want to engage with for the AniManga club. I started watching The Walking Dead, like, the original series, right? The one that started in, what was it, 2000, 2012? Was it 2012? Man, it's older than I remember. Have you watched K? Yeah, I have watched K. Anytime I keep forgetting that it's just called K. I feel like it's so much older than I remember as well. But also, anytime I think of it, I think of like the different letter animes that somehow exist. Because I know there's C as well. There's K, and then there's C, and then I think there has to be more. There has to be more single letter animes out there. But those are the only two that come to mind for now. Anytime I think of anytime I think of K, however, it reminds me of like that entire era where it was all about different Esper abilities and powers, though. Not that it was bad, but it was in like the Haruhi Suzumiya around that time? Or maybe that was just when I was watching it approximately. I'm not sure. I'm starting from season 1, 2010. Oh, okay. I thought it was 2012 or so that it had started, but I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating it. Still, it's a really long series. Like, at least 8 seasons minimum? I don't know. It's crazy long. K was so good for its time in terms of visuals and music. Studio Go Hands is just that good. I haven't seen it in a really long time, actually. Maybe wait. Now I'm gonna check K anime, because it's let's see, when did it come out? 2012. Yeah, that sounds about right. And a psychic war. My gosh, plots back then. What is K? K is an anime about some kind of, well, it's been over a decade. No, nearly, no, 2 decades. No, sorry, I can't think. It's been over a decade since I've watched it, because I watched it around the time that it came out, so maybe like 2013-ish. I think I watched it around 2013. But it's an anime about people with psychic abilities who are involved in a series of murders. I was thinking of suggesting K. I think that's probably a good suggestion. I don't think many people have watched nor paid attention to an anime like K before. Maybe. It also has action, which means people would probably feel inclined to watch it, or if they're only there for combat, then it's something enjoyable to do. Since it's comparatively short, 1 season, then movie, then season 2. I didn't know K had a movie. What? I had no clue there was a movie for K. Well, if there's a movie for K, then I feel more incentivized to watch it now. I had no clue. Okay. No pun intended. That was unintentional. Yeah, maybe it's worth it then. I still feel a little bit inclined to either suggest something like Fate or to suggest something like From the New World, because From the New World, I think, is just a classic, all in all. There was also a couple that I was looking into, but they still have yet to receive any kind of anime adaptations. Like, whenever I wanted to suggest, I think maybe they've got PVs, but they don't have any anime that has come out. I was thinking a comedy like Killing Me, Killing You could be pretty fun to do. Yeah, you have K anime, then a movie called K Missing Kings, and then season 2 is called Return of Kings. I think I've just watched season 1 and 2 without ever considering that there was a season, a movie to it. That sounds really interesting, then. Yeah, something more to my backlog, because I'm gonna write that down. Wait, where's my backlog list? Anime, here we go. K movie. And then, what was it? You said Missing Kings. Missing Kings movie. Man, that takes me back to an entire other era of anime, though. I think that was around the time that I also watched, like, Rosario Vampire and everything. I guess there's always the chance that we can read, like, romance manga or whatever, but I don't know how intrigued people are by that. But I heard Rosario X Vampire and whatnot was way better in form of, of manga than it was anime, but I'm not exactly sure why that's the case. And that's kind of why, or at least an incentive why, I wanted to start the AniManga Club, because I feel like if everyone's going to be reading or consuming the media or the story in different mediums, then it really gives us the opportunity to learn why about these things, or at least it helps me. So, yes, romance. Well. Maybe you should change your vote then. Maybe you should just change your vote then from Hunter x Hunter. Really though, when it comes to Hunter x Hunter, I'm not sure what a good stopping point is. I think we would have to do maybe 6 episodes at a time, which I don't know which chapter that puts us at. At least that was the idea Helios and I were discussing before, that if we were going to be watching any anime or reading any manga, it would have to be the equivalent of 6 episodes approximately for an entire week. And then we do this every single Sunday where we discuss what happened and what our thoughts are on it. The Rosario vampire manga is worlds better. The anime is just random harem comedy. The manga turns into action, fighting, and some politics, kinda. Really? I don't remember there being any fighting in Rosario X Vampire. So that's already a big surprise to me. I don't remember anything like that happening, or even being related whatsoever. I know there was like some intrigue as to, they began to take interest in the main character because of X and Y reason, but for anything more than that, I'm not really sure. I'm being spoiled by my cousin. What? I'm being spoiled by my cousin big sister. We read. I will not elaborate. Not elaborate. I'm not even sure where the title begins or ends with that, if I'm being honest. Now, I'm just gonna copy this into Google. Let's see what comes up, because you not wanting to elaborate makes me worry. This makes me think that it's not something that everyone wants to read. But it also, just keep in mind, I'm being spoiled by my cousin big sister. Okay, now I get it. I thought the we was a part of it as well, and then it was we read, I will not elaborate. However, the thing that you have to consider with the AniManga Club is that the reason why it's AniManga is that one of the requirements is that there has to exist an anime equivalent for people who otherwise will not read. So if people don't want to read, then they have the alternative of watching the anime. That's one of the reasons why I'm calling it an AniManga Club and not just like a manga or an anime club. Just so you're aware. So in that case, if it has an adaptation, then perhaps. For romance, I'd probably suggest, or I'd likely suggest, the manga version of Horimiya, but I know that Aug isn't much into pure romance. Yeah, exactly. As said, and I'll reiterate for everyone else who isn't aware, one of the reasons why I'm not fond of pure romance is because if something doesn't work out the way that you're hoping, and if you're waiting on one arc to be resolved, then you're just kind of stuck waiting, and then nothing else feels like it's progressing, and that's one of my main gripes with pure romance. So whenever it comes to pure romance, I feel like I need some other plotline to be following so that I can at least have some kind of intrigue. Because otherwise, if it's gonna be like, I don't know, Komi-san can't communicate, and it's, what, 200 chapters of them never getting closer to each other, and it's just random events that are going on throughout the story, I don't know, that drags on for a little bit too long in my opinion. And it makes it really difficult to stay motivated to watch or read through all of it. Heyo, for some reason notification told me it's Resident Evil stream today, which I found weird since it's... Wait, really? Does it say that? It shouldn't be. I've got it on Just Chatting. At least Twitch has recognized it as Just Chatting. Yeah, which is why I suggested Bakuman to you. Yeah, exactly, because then at least I have some kind of major plotline to follow or go off of in the meanwhile, right? That much I appreciate. Manbagi should have won the Tadano Bowl. Honestly, yeah, I think it was really, I don't know. Anytime I think back on some of the arcs in Komi-san Can't Communicate, I'm like, oh man, why did it have to turn out that way? It could have resolved itself so much faster. Because at core, I'd argue it's a romance story. I see. We'll have to see, however. I mean, it is a romance story. He's definitely doing it for one person. I accidentally just threw my stuff. He does, like... he does get into manga and manga creation as a result of a singular person, or the girl. So yeah, that checks out. What's up? Welcome, Wilson. How are you doing? Gyaru supremacy, so true. We love Gyarus here. We all love Gyarus. I think this is a universal truth, but there's so much more that it should be okay. I agree. It is okay. What are we talking about? We're talking about the AniManga Club. So in the Discord server and whatnot, and also something that I'll be doing via streams, we'll be having an AniManga Club. And what that means is that instead of Sundays being a little bit of a just chatting or whatever, I mean, it's still going to be chatting. It's more just having a determined or decided on topic that we can all discuss and kind of bond together over with, right? Like, I want to be able to do more stuff with you guys, and I feel like doing something at our own pace is a really fun way of doing it. So, introducing the AniManga Club. Essentially, we recommend to each other, or in a group in the Discord server, a manga or an anime, which has a manga or anime equivalent, and for 1 week, we read however many chapters is equivalent to 6 episodes. And with those 6 episodes every Sunday, we will then discuss with each other what we thought about them, our opinions on it, and because we've got people either doing a reading of it, or we've got people doing a watching of it, that means that we can also see how it differs in terms of medium between the two formats, which I think is a lot of fun, because there's a lot of anime that I've watched that I've not read the manga equivalent to, and vice versa. So I think that would be a lot of fun. So that's what we're doing. A kindred spirit, a brother in arms, true tomboy supremacy. Nothing wrong with Gyarus, though. I don't want to pit one against the other. I think they've all got their moment to shine, and I think you can even make the argument that because they're categorically, like, labels, you could probably fit under both of them. They're not, like, completely... Oh, what's the word? I already forgot the word. You know, in a Venn diagram, whenever they're not dichotomous to each other. You can still be an intersection of, I don't know, a tomboy Gyaru, you know? Like, it's not impossible. Like, I'd kind of say Daitaku Helios from Uma Musume is a little bit of a tomboy, but also Gyaru as well. Not Helios in our chat. So... yeah, it literally, exactly there. What about a tomboy Gyaru? Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Whoa, is that a thing? I absolutely think it is. The end of the world. Beauty like that cannot exist on this plane of existence, 6D inhabiting a 2D space. There are only so many versions or forms that it can take if it were to come to a tomboy Gyaru. They would have to have really good fashion sense, and then they would also be into all kind of athleticisms. Oh, I've read a few manga featuring some. Do share, Okami says. Yeah, I agree with that one. I second this opinion. And what is today's manga/anime conversation? Well, because it's just the beginning of the AniManga Club, we've yet to fully decide on something that we're all going to get together and read together. So, today was kind of to decide that. Of course, there were suggestions, or people are making suggestions in the Discord server, but I'll be creating like a schedule of what it looks like. So, oh, this week we're going to be talking about this week we're going to be talking about this, etc. This week we're undecided, but I want to decide today, and then for next Sunday we will have something about to talk about. So, that's the main question I want to resolve, and that's my question to you guys. So far, we've got one from Okami in the channel that he posted during this stream, which is Hunter x Hunter. But I don't know how many chapters 6 episodes equates to. And Helios, I think your suggestion was is it K then? Because I remember on a previous stream, not the previous stream, on one of the older streams that you mentioned maybe you would recommend something else. I know that I was torn between whether or not I should recommend Fate, or if I should recommend From the New World, in which case I think either one of those would be really good. But Fate is quite difficult to determine which one is worth watching or reading first, because either they have an anime adaptation, or they just don't. Like, the only one that I can think of is maybe Unlimited Blade Works, but Unlimited Blade Works is still in progress because they're remaking the anime, or the manga. So it has a remake going on, which means that it's not fully published and therefore not fully translated, which makes it really difficult to try and keep track of that one. However, I think I would have to double check the Fate series. Yeah, the Fate series. I would have to check. Is there manga for Fate Stay Night? There might be. There might be. Oh, there is. There is a manga adaptation for Fate Stay Nights. I wonder if it's going to be any good. I know the anime isn't great, so my issue would be if I were suggesting the Fate series that I'm going to have to recommend the Dean anime, which is a little bit difficult to do because it doesn't give the best impression of it. I mean, like, Unlimited Blade Works is crazy good comparative to the rest of it. The Fate series would be a convoluted conversation. I think I'm at least well versed enough in Fate that I would be able to manage conversation with it, like all of it, because I have watched and read basically all of Fate. However, trying to do that without spoiling certain parts of it with people who haven't partaken in or partook in reading a lot of the series would be pretty difficult because there's so many spoilers or so many nods and allusions to different parts of the series that could kind of make it contrived, you know? Okay, I found... no. Yuri one! No. Not for me. Not for me, Wag's finger. I only believe in romance I can self-insert into. It's one of my top things. Artoria Pendragon Saber is one of my female fiction characters. She's such a cool character. I think... favorite, though. Picking out a favorite from the Fate series is really difficult because there are so many good ones. If I were going from just the original trilogy, I do like Sakura Mato the most. I'm a Sakura fan, admittedly. And I also really like BB. So my opinion is a little bit biased, but I also want to play through Fate CCC on stream, because I think that would be a lot of fun. At least, hopefully, it should be fun. Hopefully it should be fun, and the reason why I say hopefully is because I know that I have to emulate it, and I have to jump through like 20 hoops or whatever to get everything working. I think, at least. I don't know. I've not really looked into it, but then again, a part of me was hoping, right, that they would have released the remake by now, but they have not released the remake by now, and that makes me sad. So, Partuk. Self-insert as the girl? No, I'm not gonna do that. Let's see. WTD, what the devil, by the way? Thanks. Yeah, thanks. I would have never have guessed, like, genuinely. I've no clue. Why are you making up these slang terms? Did you know that calc is short for calculator? Someone will say Minamoto no Raiko. Well, I might be one of those people. Hasana Seremity, my wife, I don't think she's poison mom. I think she's just constantly coated in poison, so that's a little bit different. I'm thinking of more obscure action slash anime slash manga I'd like to suggest. I can take a little bit of a look through mine. There's certainly a lot of them. I really want there to be an anime adaptation of Fate Redline, because that would be really good. I need to go through my watch list, because I think every anime that exists probably has an equivalent manga. Oh man, we could go for some really old ones. We could do like a certain magical index, but we can also do a Akame ga Kill. Akame ga Kill was so good. I really loved that one. Black Lagoon is also pretty good. I'm trying to think of which ones aren't overly long. There's also, I don't know, I recently read Clavatas and I watched the anime. That one's not really old though, but it is still good. I haven't watched or read Data Live in like a decade at least. because ideally no one of you knows it yet. Yeah, exactly. It would be a little bit sad if we pick something and everyone has already read it, but I don't know, maybe some people already feel an inclination to reread things that they enjoy, just because they haven't done it. I mean, I'm already considering that, like, oh yeah, maybe I should do some of that, because it has been more than a decade since I've watched or read some of it. Or you can start with Death Note. I think all of us, unless I'm mistaken, have all of us read or watched Death Note? I suppose I've not read it, which would be different, but I don't know. That's a quite a long series to start with, which is why I'm contemplating that maybe we start with something a little bit shorter. A little bit shorter. I'll die in her arms, a happy man. You would die immediately. You might only die, like, just by breathing in the air within her vicinity. And I think that might be what happens. Akamiga Kill, you need to read the manga, though. The anime changed a few things that made it worse. I've read and watched both. I enjoyed them both, and honestly, I don't think the anime was as bad as people make it out to be. The endings are different, but I don't think it was so significant that it would take it down an entire point. I think it's just like a flex point. Like, okay, you can argue that it's 1 point less good, but I don't think it makes the anime completely irredeemable. Like, I think Gantz is probably a case where, oh my gosh, they changed so much about the anime that I just cannot sit through it. But I don't think Akamiga Kill is like that. I think Akamiga Kill has a whole bunch of redeeming qualities to it still, even as an anime, you know? So I'm not too fussed about that part, at least. Let's see. I cannot do Death Note without remembering all the cringe lights XL yaoi edits on Tumblr. Why are you remembering them in the first place? That sounds like a you problem, if I'm honest. That sounds like a bit of a you problem. Not something we have to consider. I'm assuming you've watched Madoka Magica, Og? Yeah, I've watched it. I haven't watched the movies, though. I feel like I want to watch it with people, but I don't know. I've not read the manga to Madoka Magica. I have watched, like, most or all of the animes, though. I think. There could be a couple that I'm missing, that I'm just, like, unaware of. But I've gone through, like, anime websites, and then I've just clicked on everything related to Madoka Magica, and then I just watched all of those. Right after I read Death Notes, I went to every social media to interact with the community, and it was hell. I will inhale... Okay, that's a completely different comment, and I was just about to read your fantasizing. Okay. Yeah, well, first issue you did there was you went to Tumblr for Death Note content. I don't know what you were expecting, but I can assure you of one thing, and that was the wrong place to go to. If anything, you probably should have gone to, like, I don't know, old school anime forums, and then you maybe would have had a better chance of doing anything like that. Also, Okami says, I will inhale serenity air and die happy. I would be pleased just setting eyes on her. Genuinely, she makes me so happy. Well, there's your fantasizing, but yeah, it's always nice, I would think, to have, like, a waifu or a character that you love like that. So, I get it. I get it. Wrong community, bro. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You probably don't want to go to those communities for that, right? Like, that seems a little bit out of like Tumblr, especially. I don't know. Back in the day, that was a different landscape, massively. Og, do you know Bento? I do know Bento, but that was also ancient to me, and I think I've just, like, placed it in a pocket in the back of my mind because I cannot for the life of me remember anything about it. I know that I watched it because it is on my watched list. I've like, just checked as I was scrolling through, because obviously I've sorted by alphabetical order, and it's on there, but I don't remember. So, I was, like, 14, have mercy. No mercy. No mercy here. You reap what you sow, and you decided for whatever reason that you would go to Tumblr for your interests in Death Note, of all things. So, oh, I'm in an ad. Wait, how are you in an ad? You've got Prime. You've got Prime, so how do you have ads? I'm very confused. I feel like if you're paying, you shouldn't be watching ads. You shouldn't be getting ads in the first place. I don't know how that works, but, you know, I guess that's just what it is on Twitch. Okay, I'm back. Okay. I watch these ads for you, Og. You remember this is the next time I prompt you to do silly voice. You remember this the next time I prompt you to do silly voices. I'll keep that in mind. There's a reason why I even do the silly voices and have all of these point rewards in the first place, mind you. So, you know, I do understand. It's not like I'm doing this for anything but, you know? So, yeah, I do it for you guys. That's what I do it for. And all these silly voices, they're there for a reason. I was thinking to myself if maybe I should try, like, find other voices that I can do. But I feel like I need to naturally discover them as you guys prompt me like an AI to try and do some more voices. Because, honestly, I'm not really sure what more I can do. I was thinking, like, maybe I should try practice and learn how to do a Cartman voice. But, I don't know. I'm not confident enough to be able to just show that off on a whim, you know? Otherwise, what are we thinking so far? What are we thinking so far with what we have? Do we want to go with something like K? What is everyone feeling for? Because I know, Okami, you suggested Hunter x Hunter, but is that actually your final decision, or are you just, like, writing it down as a preemptive thing? Additionally, Helios, what is your suggestion? Is it still K in that case? Speak like English VA Deku for the next 3.5 minutes? Okay, let's... Oh, I really hate when you do this. Okay, guys, we gotta think of this. What are we gonna do? What manga are we gonna read together? Are we gonna read K? It's not my final decision. Okay, I'm thinking to myself that maybe I should pick something like Fate. But if I pick Fate, then I'm gonna have to make you guys watch Fate Stay Nights, and I don't know if I could do that to you guys. Not the psycho. I'm not gonna say that aloud. Death Note, bro? I'm not your bro, but also, I don't know about Death Note. You can definitely suggest it, and we can see what people say, but I don't know. That's not my opinion. I'm kinda still thinking. I think for myself, this is like maple syrup to my ears. Wow, that's such a compliment. Honestly. My gosh, now my voice is going out. Let's try. I can't believe it. You're making me blush. That's weird, bro. He's not weird. He's letting him be his true self, you baka. You're being so weird to him. He's just being who he is, and you're rejecting that. How dare you? I think we should all read My Hero Academia. Macadamia Nut. I think we can all read My Hero Macadamia Nut. How about that, guys? What are you talking about? Sus? How dare you call him sus? How dare you? No, you gotta restart the full 3 minutes for that break? That's not how it works. You know what you're getting into. No My Hero Academia? Come on! We need to see Kachan. We need to see Kachan. I'd be out. Why not, guys? Why don't you want to read my manga? My Hero Academia is a waste of time? No, it's not. My Hero Macadamia Nut is one of the best ones out there. Sorry, I gotta drink some tea. We need to decide on something. If you guys won't make a decision, then I will. By the end of this, we have to all decide on something. Deku, just grade my exam, Midoriya. What are you meaning by that? Don't make me use all United States Smash on you. With 10% of my power. Of One for All. Just finished it? I don't want to watch it again. I gotta be honest. I never finished My Hero Academia. My Hero Macadamia was not something that was ever on my bucket list for finishing. I think I got to the La Brava arc, and I stopped there. But afterwards, I don't know. I don't know what happens. It all may as well just be fan fiction, because I never finished it.
Have we decided on a genre at least? Maybe we should decide on a genre first. I want at least within the next hour to decide on what it is we're reading. Hopefully. I need something by the end of stream today. Then by the end of stream, we can all decide on what we want to watch. I can't wait for you to shatter your fist and then have it healed randomly. That's because with the power of one for all, I'll be as strong as I need to be to take down my enemies. You can't stop me. With the power of All Might, I'll be able to win. And, well, all of your plans, one for all, will be foiled. Once and for all. If you want to put it like that. That's a joke, in case you guys didn't get it. It's a play on words for the fact that his name is actually All for One. But once and for all, that's just a bit of a quirk that I came up with. It's pretty funny. Gunra, Hanari, seem easy to get in for the people here, right? I don't know what you said. I think you just fried my brain. Say that again, will you? Okay, Aug, have you seen Benria Saito-san, the handyman isekai? No. Also, you said that I could do this for 3.5 minutes. I've done it for 5.
So I'm gonna stop that now. I worry that if you guys I know that it was happening whenever I had to refer to myself in third person, but I'm always worried that if I keep doing these voices for longer than 5 minutes, that it's just going to stick. That I'm going to be unable to stop doing some kind of dumb voice. It's a worry of mine. But no, I don't think I've seen it. I can Google this. Maybe it is on my list, if anything. No, I've not seen it. It's not on my list. It's not on my list. What? No, we're not genre. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that genre, Wilson Wiz. that's not one. Okay, I guess I'll suggest that one then. Something easy. Isekai slop, but good enough to watch it. I love my isekai slop. Say ganbare, like that one guy on TikTok. Can you give me a reference for this? Ganbare TikTok. What are... I feel like anytime I think of that, I think of, let's see. Anytime I hear that, I think of some lyrics to a Toho song, which is completely unrelated, but that's about as close as I can get to it mentally for it. So I don't know which one you're meaning. If you can provide like a source video for that, I can try and mimic it. But otherwise, I'm not sure what the Ganbare guy is. But for genre, I would think, are most of us down for some kind of action in that case? What about Chunbyo Demokoi ga shitai? I think I've seen that one, but I don't know about everyone else. I would probably be down for that. I've never read the manga for it. Same goes with Haruhi Suzumiya. I could probably read the manga for that one and also be fine. I'd be just happy with it. But, yeah, it depends. So, okay, rather than suggesting what genres you think everyone else is going to enjoy, what genres do you guys personally want to read? I think that it's probably easiest for everyone if they wanted to read something like action, but I don't know how many. Because I know that it seems like Okami is more into romance, and it seems like, Helios, you're also into romance and slice of life. I'm into isekai and action, but what about you, D6, if you participate? What about you, Wilson Wiz, if you participate? What do you guys want? Because right now I'm seeing like 2 of us want some kind of romance, but I think for all of us, we want to do that. Okay, let's see in this company. What is he doing? I'm into hype and aura moments. I guess action then? Let's see. What is this video? Ganbare. Like that? Ganbare. He just sounds like he's putting on a croaky voice. Ganbare. That's all he's doing. It's so silly. What a dumb video. I hate that stuff like this is my humor. It's so bad. It's so bad for my mental state. I'm more into romance and slice of life right now. So we've got 3 people into romance and slice of life. Oh dear. I begin to fear that this is exactly what we're gonna watch. Okay, there's a story I need to force everyone to watch and read, and it's Blue Period. Wilson being a real one. 16 hours screen time to get that humor. I think it has to be like permanently online, chronically online type of humor. I genuinely believe so, because my gosh, what is happening to me, man? Why is this what I default to? Either way, I think it's beginning to look like a slice of life is on the menu for what it is we're reading. In which case, what are you guys gonna suggest? What do you guys want to suggest if it's going to be something like a slice of life that we're watching? How about that? I want to say that I have recommendations for a slice of life, but I don't really. I don't really, because there isn't a whole lot, and it would have to have some kind of anime adaptation as well for the people that want that. 2 plus 4 multi-ball. Yeah, wait. Only these two, wait, no. None of them. I would need something that upgrades. I'll take this one. I just want more multi-ball. I love multi-ball stuff in Peglin. It's so much fun. Otherwise, have you heard Jack Black will play John Tarnished in the Elden Ring movie? You're joking. There's no way that's real. Jack Black Tarnished? There's no way. There's no way. He's not going to be John Tarnished in the Elden Ring movie. You're making things up. This doesn't exist. Jack Black is not playing John Tarnished. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. I mean, maybe it's possible, but I refuse to believe that it's possible. That's not happening. That's not happening. It would be cool though. It would be really cool. Wow, we could have Jack Black as John Tarnished. Oh my gosh, My Hero Academia, My Hero Macadamia Nut. Maybe he'll voice John Bloodborne in the movie. I imagine that if they meet up, they would have to have a crossover. You know, they just have to. There's no way that they wouldn't. I think if John Tarnished and John Bloodborne were to meet up, they need to get along and they need to work out their differences. But I fear that with how things are going, him voice acting 2 people at once, I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. Also, my gosh, I think I just made the worst decision possible for my entire orb deck here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is only dealing like 1 damage every shot. Oh, at least this one deals damage, but it's the only orb that's dealing damage. So, if we're thinking about romance and slice of life, because that seems to be the somewhat consensus, what are you guys hoping for? What do you guys want as the manga? Honestly, I would genuinely be happy to pick something like Rosario X Vampire, because we do have the anime, and even though the anime isn't nearly as good as the manga, I want to give reading the manga a chance because I've never read it. And I think that would be pretty fun to do. Okay, I found Isekai with aura farming in some slice of life. That was actually enjoyable. Problem is that everyone has already seen it. Which one is that? What's FLCL genre? Let's see. FLCL for Fully Coolly. What does it count as? Comedy, science fiction, and surrealism. Okay. Apparently it's not a slice of life or anything, which is kind of surprising. I don't know. I didn't think it was just that. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I thought FLCL was just sci-fi. I didn't really see it as a comedy besides having like I probably would have called it slice of life because even some of the comedic moments were just like silly interactions between characters, you know? Okay. Also, we need to upgrade basically every single orb. I think I'm going to lose here if I don't do that. Yeah, we'll do this. Kage no Jitsu Ryokusha Naritakutte. Let's see. What is this one about? Oh, Eminence in Shadow. Yeah, I love Eminence in Shadow. Eminence in Shadow is a great one. I've read the whole manga and watched all the anime for it. I think, did it have multiple seasons? It's got 32 episodes, but I remember watching it multiple times. It's just that I've read the manga multiple times. I love Eminence in Shadow more than one can imagine. I was kind of contemplating like maybe I should play the gacha game just because of the Hololive collab for it as well. I'm gonna go now. See you all with Resident Evil. Bye bye. Wait, Mr. Brown, before you go, what's your vote? What's your vote? What do you want to read? You didn't pitch any suggestions. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to. Well, I'm gonna ping the roll anyway whenever we get to the weekly stuff. But you know, we'll see. Otherwise, you never pitched anything though, because I remember you said you might wanted to be a part of the AniManga club. But otherwise, if you already left, then take care. I even played the gacha game. I feel like I should have given it a try, but I'm not too sure. Kimi no koto ga daisuki na 100 nin no kanojo. My 100 girlfriends? I don't know about that one. Wait, Og, have you seen Kami-sama ni natta hi? I think so. Is that the isekai one, or is that the isekai one where he gets transported into another world, or is this a different one? I'm wondering. Okay, no, I'm checking this online. No, I've not seen this one. I've seen the one where he gets transported to another world with a goddess or whatever. Oh, I don't know, to be honest, or if I'll join. Okay, man. If you don't want to, I'm not gonna push you to. I'm just curious. That can't be real. What can't be real? The 100 girlfriends one? It absolutely is. But we're not reading some of these. We're absolutely not reading. Like, I'm not going to read Rent a Girlfriend or whatever. If that ever gets suggested, I am 100% vetoing something like that. 100% vetoing. I'll probably just go with whatever others decide. Okay. So long as you're aware. But thank you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend or a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you tomorrow with Resident Evil 2 Remake then. Even though this is slice of life, you should enjoy this. I hope so. Rent a Girlfriend is trash. It really, really is. I do not enjoy it whatsoever. But I don't know if you want to go through it, if I want to go through it again. I think so long as you suggest something and you've like got a final decision on it, I'll be happy with whatever you guys suggest. Most things, actually. Not all things, but most things. We'll upgrade an orb. Honestly, no, maybe I should have removed one. Okay, I probably should have removed one. We'll upgrade this, because if I had one pebble, then I would have gained a bonus because of my my default relic, which gives +1 plus... Oh, Force Pebble level 2? You know what? Yeah. You know what? Yeah. And now we can try get 2 relics. I need something that, like, just doubles or increases the damage of all the pegs that I hit. My gosh, I'm failing this 50-50 so much. Goodness me. I didn't see any cool birds today. I'm sorry to hear, man. I'm sorry to hear. What? Okay, on weekends, do you have... or rather, throughout the week, do you have a list of birds that you usually or often want to see? Like, is there a routine to it that you have? Or some kind of, like, pattern of birds that you follow along and everything? Gonna watch some Final Fantasy VII deep dive, then I'll come back. Enjoy your Final Fantasy VII deep dive, Wilson Wiz. I've not played, like, any of the Final Fantasy games, I gotta admit. I think I played a little bit of Tactics, but that was about it. It makes me kind of want to play some of the Final Fantasy games, but I would say SMT is higher up on my list than something like Final Fantasy. Otherwise, take care, man. Take care. Oh, this has ruined my orb deck. This one gopher gold artifact or relic or whatever it is. Hopefully I can get that one relic that just anytime you hit a peg, or all balls lose a certain amount of damage, but they all increase the damage values of pegs. Because my goodness. It is basically a free double damage though, so long as it's above a certain threshold, then it's pretty good. But, you know, either way. I mostly see sparrows, hooded crows, pigeons, and take notes of any out-of-ordinary birds. So you've kind of got a rhythm or a routine going on for all of the birds and everything. I mean, that's really cool. I think anyway. To have a bit of a schedule, you can tell based on what day of the week it is by just looking at the birds outside. Is that the case? Can you do that? Can you just like walk outside? If you didn't have a schedule or anything like that, would you be able to tell what day of the week it is? By the way, see Amagi Brilliant Park. That's my recommendation. Okay, I'll write down that one. So people who otherwise don't show up in the group or in the server, I'll write those down. Here we go. Do you know Kyokai no Kanata? Let's see. I know Kara no Kyokai, but beyond the boundary, no. Oh no, I've seen this a lot, but I've never watched it. I saw it a lot, never watched it, and I watched one boundary show called Kara no Kyokai, and that's all I've done. Not really. So you wouldn't be able to tell? Oh no. Oh no. Maybe you need to... Have you tried befriending the birds? Is that something that you do as well, or do you feel like that's interfering too much with the daily life of birds in that case? Like, do you try to interact with some of the birds? I imagine... Wait, was it by the park? Where do you watch birds? I tried playing Final Fantasy VII Remake like 4 times, but I keep quitting out of boredom. What about it do you think makes it boring to you? I've obviously never played it, but one of the things that really just disinterests me about a lot of JRPGs, I think people often say the combat, but it's never really the combat for me, because even though it's turn-based, I quite like turn-based. I think turn-based can be a very fun system, and I think it allows for a lot of really cool ideas that would be practical in actuality. Like, when I think of Your Only Move is Hustle, my gosh, what a great game that implements the fighting game genre into a turn-based format. That is such a cool idea, and I wish that there was like a single-player mode to it, because it's so unreliable to find people at the same skill level as you, or to have friends who also know about it. But Yomi is such a good game that I think would actually benefit from having an entirely implemented like campaign or something like that, you know, with the story or whatever. And I know that's a far-fetched, like, I know it's one guy working on it, but my gosh, if I don't love the game nonetheless for it, you know? Too much padding? Do you mean like it never got around to the story, or do you feel like it never aimed or got to a point where you actually began to enjoy it? Because I feel like a lot of JRPGs only end up becoming good a certain amount of hours in. So maybe I take it for granted, but it feels like a given that, oh, well, this game isn't meant to be at its best right now. It gets really good at this point in the story. Therefore, I shouldn't, like, completely judge it for what it is now. I should give it, like, literally 10 to 20 hours before I can 100% say for sure. Though I do agree that it's a lot of time to give a game before you can say whether or not it's actually good or whether or not it's just not worth your time, right? Disgusting. Jeez. I mostly say not to interact with wild animals, but they're city birds. I don't really care if you feed them or touch them. I think a lot of them are adjusted to interacting with people as well, which makes it like a different topic entirely. Because I think when it comes to city birds and birds that are fine interacting with people, a lot of them want to interact with you as well, I think. So it doesn't feel that far out of reach to say they're interacting with you because they also think they'll get food as a result of you interacting with them. I don't know. Maybe it's just fine to interact with a bunch of birds nonetheless. Okay, here's hoping that I just gain a whole bunch of HP. Never mind. I'm not. I think I might lose. I think I might lose this run. Upgrade? Yes, upgrade. I really like the story moments, but the in-between sections are very boring. Yeah, I feel like that's the case with a lot of stuff. There's always a lot of JRPGs with so much padding to it that you're never really sure if, like, what you're in is the dip before it becomes good, because sometimes you just end up never getting to that point. I want to say this was the case anytime I tried to start the Dragon Quest games, because anytime I tried to play those, I feel that I would get stuck all the time with wanting to continue, with wanting to progress, because it didn't really feel like I had motivation to. Like, I didn't bother to because I didn't want to, because I didn't have motivation to. Like, when I started the main story would have me jump through a whole bunch of hoops or whatever, learn how to play through the systems, tell me about how the world is and everything like that, but I would have probably spent like 5 to 10 hours, and I'm just like, okay, what? I don't care. I don't care, and even if I'm playing this to just grind, I'm just playing it to grind. And I don't think that the Dragon Quest games were for me as a result of that. I don't know if I want to choose one I'm really excited about, or one I know Auger will enjoy more. I think you can choose whatever it is you want to, and we can do that. Again, the whole point is that I want to connect with you guys in what it is you guys find interesting, or what it is you guys enjoy reading and consuming in terms of like anime/manga content, right? So don't feel like you have to make it to appeal to me. Think of it as like, oh, is this something that I would enjoy, and is it something that maybe others would enjoy as well? I don't know, because again, I would rather you guys pick what it is you want to read and what you want to watch, and that way I can connect with you guys, and then we can discuss or talk about the various shows and whatnot, right? Like, don't think of it as me in isolation. I think most city pigeons are descendants of pet pigeons or messenger pigeons. I think so as well. I mean, is there any case where they aren't? Because I feel like they should be, but I'm trying to think. Like, there are no wild pigeons anymore, are there? There are like none. Correct? There are no more wild pigeons, therefore all of them have to be descendants from domesticated pigeons, which means that they can't live on their own. It's a little bit curious. There are wild pigeons? What? Wait, wild pigeons? Ones not implanted with cameras by the government, right? Those pigeons exist. When you say wild, they're not. Konosuba is one that Mr. Brown recommended. Interesting. I guess I don't know about Konosuba. I don't know about Konosuba. I've tried to get into that one so many times, and it just didn't work for me. Rock doves? Oh, wait, are rock doves considered the wild ones then? Let's see. Rock doves. Oh, wow. Yeah, wait, what? Rock doves, also known as the common pigeon or rock pigeon, is a... Yeah. Simply referred to as pigeon. Wait, so... But pigeons are just rock doves, generally, then, right? Or what was the, what's the distinction? Is it just the family name or the genus name? It's just commonly referred to as a pigeon. Okay. I don't know, I thought this was blowing my mind for a second, but now I'm beginning to realize, oh wait, that's just normal normal pigeons. Okay. I don't think I can reach for this guy, can I? The reset one there? Let's see. I need a... Oh my gosh. Please! I'm not gonna be able to reach the reset, I think. No, I need to do that. Let's do that. There we go. My gosh, had to be put at the right edge of it. Otherwise, I'm seeing... We've got Amagi Brilliant Park, we've got Konosuba, and we've got Hunter x Hunter as the recommendations. How do you guys feel about those so far? Search Synthanthropes on Google. Okay, Synthanthropes. Or Sinanthropes. There we go, Sinanthropes. Sinanthropes are wild animals or plants that thrive in human-modified environments, such as cities, farms, and homes, benefiting from our food, waste, and shelter without being domesticated. Oh, little trash pandas are included in this as well. I see. I didn't know that was the term for them. That's pretty cool. How will you choose? What was meant to happen was that if everyone had participated or thrown a vote, or, if everyone had thrown in a suggestion, then we would have done a vote. And via the votes, we would have then decided what manga, what anime, etc. it was that we wanted to read or watch. However, now because I kind of want to come to a decision today. Maybe I leave it to Monday and I'm just forcing you guys to give an answer. But let's, I'm going to say Rosario X Vampire as my suggestion. And we will do a vote by end of tomorrow. At the time that I would start the stream, that is when our decisions are final. If you are not in the server, then I would suggest so. I would suggest so. I'm trying to think of how we would do this for people who aren't in the server. Hunter, Konosuba, Amagi Brilliant Park, and then it depends on what Helios suggests, and then mine with Rosario Vampire. So your suggestion is an ecchi anime? I just joined. I mean, I like Rosario Vampire. I completely forgot. Wait, is it ecchi? Rosario Vampire. Is it ecchi? It is harem and romantic comedy, but I don't remember it. I just thought it would be because we're choosing slice of life, right? Oh, and now now Okami's removed his. Okay, I just joined the animes, yeah? Okay. Maybe I changed mine then. Never mind. I'll remove mine. I'll think about it a little bit more. I watched it a long time ago. Same. I don't remember anything it was about, but I heard that the manga is way better, and then I was wait, what? Did I accidentally? Oh, I hit a hotkey. Whoops. I didn't even know I had hotkeys set up for my screen. Whoops, that's my bad. Wait, what? Hotkeys. Which one do I have? How did that change my scene? Where is it? Okay. Oh, num 0. Let's remove that. I don't want a hotkey for that. Apply. There we go. Let's see. Sometimes I see hedgehogs going around and eating cat food. I heard that hedgehogs do just eat cat food as a part of, like, if you were to take care of hedgehogs, that they eat cat food. It is ecchi, but less than the nowadays ecchi. That's what I was kind of thinking. I just didn't remember that it had ecchi in it at all. I guess I misremembered massively. It's good and funny. Alt F4. Nope, I'm not falling for that one. I'm at least moderately tech savvy enough to know that you're trying to trick me with that one, okay? I'm at least moderately tech savvy. You can't fool me with that. Lucky bounce there, by the way. Let's discard this. Let's do that. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna gain any damage. No, I didn't get the crit. This sucks. This really sucks. We'll do this. Hopefully I can deal some damage. I mean, 170. I think I'm gonna lose this again. My gosh. I need more damaging stuff. More damaging stuff. And then we got the half and the double. There we go. Increase and heal. This doesn't deal enough damage, I don't think. Okay, we'll continue. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's good though. The anime, I mean the manga is for sure. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm thinking to myself then in that case, we have a software engineer in here. No. I've just been raised on computers for like my whole life, okay? I'm basically born and raised on the internet. And that's why I would like to think I'm savvy with computers, but I don't know. We'll see. I was talking about me. Oh, okay. Fair enough in that case. But still, you're a software engineer then? Cool. Very cool. So you put that in a language I can understand, scientist. Wait, put that in English. I can't understand anything you're saying. Very cool. Have we? Okay. Oh, sorry. I think I missed that. Sorry. I'll look at this and tell me which tile is the most intriguing. Maybe the top 2 to 3, so I can make a decision. Okay, let's see. So I know that one of them you told me was blue period. You've got the middle one that I don't recognize. I think the bottom one was something Guildmaster, right? And then the top right one I know. Right one, I think might have been blue period. I'm not sure. I think the middle one, because I've seen some of the jokes. So the middle one, I would say, and then I'm wondering the left one. Oh, actually, Actually, Mushishi could be really good. That one got that one has an anime as well, right? Mushishi has an anime. Mushishi. What genre is Mushishi considered? But yeah, I would probably say the middle one and the top one. The top one. I can't tell if that's a dress or not. No, that's his pants. It looked like it was tail, like a tail. Middle one, and honestly, just because I like isekai, maybe the bottom one. So just the middle column. We'll say the middle column in its entirety. Mushishi is slice of life? Okay, good. Yes, then my vote is going to be Mushishi. That's what I'm going with. Mushishi. There we go. Because it has an anime, it has a manga, and I think that would work out perfectly. That's my final decision. I've made my choice. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Again, I will repost some of the suggestions inside. Oh right, you just joined the server, didn't you, Wilson Wiz? If you have just joined, check out the roles channel, and then you can find the AniManga Club role, and then you would be able to what's it called? And then you will be able to vote or make a suggestion or something like that. Okay, so top one is Blue Period, center is Barakamon, and the bottom one is Isekai. I told you about the boy chosen by the gods. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, and here we go. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. I think one of those, if you decide between, will be A-okay. You know? I don't think you need to stress too much about whichever one you want. I think anything you pick will be fine. Again, we're going to see what the interest is from everyone in it, and then I will pick the final one. So if we've got a top 2, or we've got a tiebreaker that's required, or maybe we have a top 3, we'll see because of how many suggestions it is. Then we'll decide between them, and I'll make some kind of decision from that, I think. So center left, though, is the one where they all change the art style based on how the MC feels. Oh, okay. I see. Sometimes I can't tell which one. Amagi Brilliant Park. Yeah, there you go. Very cool. Now we've got our 3 suggestions. Which one of those do you think you're going to pick in that case, then, Helios? What do you think you'll choose? But the art style is very different from your regular anime, so a lot of people have problems getting into it. I think that's reasonable. I'm trying to think to myself what shows I've perhaps watched that has something similar, but honestly, I don't think I've ever encountered a problem where I've been like, not this one because it doesn't fit me. I think, if ever, a case of art style being really difficult to put a finger on, no. Actually, I don't think I've any watched. I think I've only watched animes where the art style has been a positive to me wanting to continue watching more. Like, Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. That one had a really cool water-painted style to it. My gosh, what a good anime. I heard the books don't really get that good, however. So, that's a bit why I never did. Be Cool, Scooby-Doo, that Be Cool, Scooby-Doo, that cartoon is ugly. I've never watched that. I don't even know what the art style to something like that is, if I'm being honest. I've only ever watched the original Scooby-Doo, maybe? What else? Yeah, I think just that. It looks like a Family Guy parody. That is crazy. That is a crazy dish to be serving. My gosh, a Family Guy parody from a Scooby-Doo show? Jeez, okay. I mean, fair then in that case, why people might not have enjoyed it for losing its art style, but yeah, hopefully we don't pick something like that in that case. I was more so hoping that we'd pick, because, again, everyone seems to feel like Slice of Life is something that they want to watch, so I feel like, okay, maybe in that case we do pick a Slice of Life so everyone feels like they have a genre of theirs that they'll enjoy, you know? I think we can then agree on that. It does. I hated it. The jokes were pretty good. It does look like Family Guy. Also, you deleted your suggestion, Okami. What's your suggestion then? You don't agree on Hunter x Hunter anymore? Are you thinking of something new instead to watch or to read? Or well, it has to have both a manga and a read. Manga and an anime. A manga and a read. I think Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. is the best looking one. Was that the original series? What's the original series? I don't know. Also, I don't know how that orb deals damage or what the orb's damage is based on there. Okay. We'll do this. Wait, there? 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 How? What? There? Oh my gosh. Why is this? Just shoot. Okay. What is with this? Okay, there we go. Now we've reset it at least. My gosh. I think I've lost though. What a bad encounter. What a bad encounter. Original is like from the 60s? Yeah, but I don't know whatever the Mystery Inc. one was called. So, yeah, I was looking for something else. Konosuba was a pretty great choice. I think I've mentioned this before, but my gosh, the amount of times I've tried to get into Konosuba and it's just not worked. Google it. Okay, if you say so. I'll Google it. Usually I like to make conversation. Oh, but that is... Wait, is that not the original one? Or is that just the one that was featured on Cartoon Network? I forget. I don't know if this one ever was. Maybe it was? I don't know what the old one was. I remember watching the old one, but I don't think I've seen the Mystery Inc. version. I did watch the live action movies though because they were so terrible. They were still funny, I gotta admit. They were still funny. Even if I did think that they were actually terrible, they're pretty good, all in all. So I wouldn't say they're bad, but they kind of do what they set out for. Maybe not a Scooby-Doo movie, but a really bad one. I like the one with Hot Velma. Yeah, wasn't that the wait. Was that the one where they go to the tropical island with the theme park and everything, or was that... No. It was the one with the city and... Or in the city. And then she's trying to seduce that one nerdy guy, right? That had the company and everything. Okay, I'm going a blue period for this one. I'll go with Sangatsu no Lion after we're done with it. Yeah, let's see. Because what we're going to do with the AniManga Club is that once we've got a little bit of like votes going around and we've got an opinion or whatever everyone thinks of the series that we're watching or reading, we're going to see how many people want to continue and how many people want to stop. If we've got a majority want to continue, then I'm also going to see if people want to increase the pace or if they want to slow down. And for that, we'll see how that goes. So those are going to be two separate polls. But yeah, we're going to do one, which one do you guys want to read? Then one for, do you guys want to pick up the pace or do you want to keep it as is? And we'll keep going higher and higher and higher, but I might not bring it down. We'll see. Because I feel like when it comes to the speed at which we read or watch anime, something like that I think 6 episodes in a week is pretty manageable. Like, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to do that. So, if anything, I'm hoping that we can pick up the pace even more at that point, right? That would be pretty good. Otherwise, we'll see what you guys decide on. But obviously, I want one rule. Maybe I should add this to the post as well. You've got one vote and you... No. What do you guys think is the best way to do this? Do we give unlimited votes, or do we want to have, like, first, second, and third choice again? I'm thinking, because what might happen is everyone's going to vote for their own, which I don't want to happen. One rule might have to be that everyone votes for someone else's, and you can't vote for your own. That's a pretty standard one. Or we would have to do second or first choice votes. and then you can vote for your own and then vote for someone else's. And then if someone thinks like, oh, okay, well, I still want mine to have a vote, or I still want someone else's to have a vote, but it might just be easiest in that case to have everyone else pick someone else's. Now, no one can vote for their own suggestion? Okay, I'll do that. Let's see, first round suggestions, and then I'll make a thread, first round votes, and then I'll publish that once we get around to it. Yeah, once I finish this stream, I will have considered all of your suggestions finalized, and in that case, you have to vote by Monday, and once Monday's stream starts, that's when we go ahead with it, okay? Just so you guys are aware, that's when we're starting it. Next, or this Monday, I should say. Technically, it is next Monday, but, you know, this Monday that's coming up, I mean, with next Monday. This Monday that's coming up, once I start the stream, votes are done. Votes are done. And you cannot vote on something that isn't your own. I will make a thread directly after the stream, because that thread is only for suggestions, not for votes. So, we'll do that. Rule 2, no gooning. You keep bringing it up every single time, D6. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep getting away with it. You can't keep getting away with it. No, no one can vote for their own... Oh, I just read that. Whoops. Don't talk about yourself. Wilson, Wiz, stop. You're tearing this family apart. Guys, stop fighting. Stop fighting. I think it should be a lot of fun, though. At least, regardless of what it is that we're watching or reading, I'll still just be happy to be reading or watching it with you guys, I think. Because it really is going to be, like, me learning what you guys enjoy, and I think that's going to be the most fun part about it. So, I don't so much mind. We'll see how it goes. I can't aim. I can't aim! Hopefully, this one hits. There we go. Oof! 2 of them. And then missed the rainbow slime. However, we'll get this one, and we'll get this one. I'm surprised by how much the traversal abilities actually saved me last time around. 5% chance to refresh into bombs. You wanted to read what we enjoy? Yes, so long as it's within one of the accepted genres. I already know I'm voting for Mushishi based off of the options so far. Very based. Very based of you. What is this? Mr. Brown reacting to your post like that. How dare he? If he were here, he should know by now. He should know by now that he shouldn't be treating your suggestions as mere jokes like this. I think previously thrown bombs will now refresh. What does it mean, throw? I don't know. But we'll do Alchemist's Cookbook, maybe. So when I don't know if that was a good suggestion or a good idea. At least do research on the other ones. I think Helios is probably as much of a weeb as I am. I gotta be honest. I think he's as much of a weeb, so he probably is aware, I'm guessing, of a lot of the shows that exist. I've seen you play this game like 5 times and I still don't know what's going on. Basically, each time I hit a peg, it deals a certain amount of damage. Each ball that I have deals a certain amount of damage whenever it hits a peg. So here it's 2, 3. So whenever it hits a regular peg, it deals 2 damage. Whenever it hits a crit, they all deal 3 damage. And then I just have to hit pegs. That's it. And then you just deal damage to enemies. I feel like it's really straightforward in terms of what it is and what everything does. Of course, everything has got like a bunch of different effects. Like you can have really, I wouldn't say this is complicated, but it is one of the more complicated ones. Like every time you hit 3 pegs, one of them turns into rubber slime, and rubber slime makes things durable and bouncy. And then it has keywords for durable and what it means to do a hit and what it means for upgrades on it, etc. But general gist is 2, 3. Anytime you hit a peg, it deals 2 damage, and that's it. And then you have like health bars at the top of everything. So it works out pretty well, I think. It's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'll research everything as well before I ever come to a final decision about something anyway. But I think I'm aware of like every single one of the suggestions so far. So shouldn't be too much of an issue. I've been meaning to watch it, as it's very likely to take one of the spots on my 3x3. Oh, I've already seen the other ones. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's probably why. We battles when? We battles in terms of what? Because I feel like I don't want to battle. I feel like we each have our own very niche set of interests that we're like very particular to. Like, I think if I were to begin talking about a whole bunch of fantasy anime, that some people might be like, oh wow, he knows what he's talking about. But when it comes to like slice of life, I wouldn't be able to tell you anything, man. I wouldn't be able to tell you much about it whatsoever. So I wouldn't help much there. I don't think Aug and I would battle much, though. We'd likely end up gatekeeping everyone else. I fear that, like, with the amount of shows and manga that I've read, that it's just like, oh, okay, well, why'd you open up the My Anime List catalog of every single show? Like, I've watched, let's see how many I've watched. Watched list. In terms of anime, I have watched 245, which, to be fair, isn't like an egregious amount, but I categorize every season as one, so I don't include that. Then technically, my manga list is really short. It says I've only done 25, but that's only because I count the ones I've completed. Like, technically, Albus Changes the World, as an example, is ongoing, therefore I've not included it in my red list. So I've got a whole bunch that are ongoing, and in that case, it's more like I've got 100+ manga that I've read. So, what do you mean? If I start talking about it, they'll think I'm crazy. You're crazy, you're crazy. Oh, we're all insane. I was also thinking maybe I should have gone for the Orboboros, but I don't know. I don't think I should have. That's why I didn't go with it. I like the Are we joking? What? I suck at this. My gosh. Based on my calculations, I've spent about 2 to 3 years watching anime, and that doesn't even include manga. And then is the exact same for me, man. I've watched so much. And mind you, I've only counted, for instance, Bleach as one. I've only counted the 300 or 400 episodes of One Piece that I've watched as one show. So I'm not like including these gigantic long ones, or even like Magi, Labyrinth of Magic. Some of them I've spent so much time watching, and I've also reread, but I don't include that in my watch list again. Like, I've rewatched maybe Shinsekai Yori like 4 to 5 times, and I don't count that like as a new one every single time, you know? So I think if I were to do that, there would be a bunch more in how much my total for anime and everything that I've watched is. So I feel like that's perfectly fair. I've been watching anime for 14 years. I think he's meaning just in terms of time. Like, if you were to sum up the time total spent watching, just watching, that he gets around 2 to 3 years, which is crazy. Which is a really long time. I don't know what it is for myself, though. I do not know what it is for myself. But I think... I wonder when I started... I think it must have been, like, as soon as I was conscious, I've been watching anime. I don't know. I couldn't say when I haven't been watching anime. I think that's even harder to point out. So I'm just going to say I've always been watching anime. But the pace at which I watch it, that is variable. I don't know 100% what the pace of me watching anime has been whatsoever. So it could just be that, like, I've either watched a bunch or watched not a lot. Or rather, I've watched a lot of it, but I don't know how much of it I have watched in terms of everything else. So, does watching One Piece and Bleach 4 to 5 times count? No, I just counted it as one. And that's what I did anyway. Yeah, I've been watching anime for like 30 years now. I'm an hunk. Right? Yeah. 30 years isn't that old. That's not unk. 30 years is pretty good. I mean, that's not even middle age. That's not even middle age. That just, I mean, think of it like this, right? Everyone is living for longer. Everyone is looking younger than they ever have. I'm 33. Yeah, but like technology is becoming better, right? Technology is becoming better to the point where no matter how much we age, we're eventually all going to look really youthful and we're going to live into hundreds and hundreds of years old, right? So it doesn't matter what our age is, guys. Come on. It doesn't matter what our age is. We're all still like as well, maybe not relatively we won't age as fast. How about that? We all still look and preserve our youth in that sense. Also, we all lost about 3 years, no? How do you mean we all lost about 3 years? What do you mean? Like, in age? Lockdown and stuff. Oh, okay. For lockdown, I suppose. I don't know if I would consider that having lost it, because I'm very much a reclusive person to begin with, so I'm like always just watching shows and reading manga and everything to begin with, so I don't really feel like I lost much of my years while lockdown was going on. If anything, I basically just had more justification to stay inside because there was no reason to go outside now. Like, there was incentive to not go outside. So, during lockdown, I was pretty A-okay. Nothing changed for me. Nothing changed for me. So I'm doing okay. Yeah, I really don't like this cookbook thing. I think the cookbook was a mistake as a decision or a choice of item to pick for one of my relics. Oh, it doesn't trigger that. Oh, that's pretty good actually. Hey, that's pretty good. Okay, well I think we're gathering in a lot of the suggestions so far. We've got Konosuba, Mushishi, Amagi, Brilliant Park, and Blue Period. I kind of miss Lockdown. I played games with my friends a lot. What do you think? Okay, I know everyone focuses a lot on the downsides of Lockdown and everything like that, but what was your favorite part about it? Because I would agree that, like, being able to play games with friends and being online and spending online time with other people is a lot of fun, just in general. Oh, wait. This one. We're gonna go with this one. I must remove a non-pebble. Oh, that sucks. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do this one. For me, personally, lockdown was more of a positive than negative. I feel like a lot of people categorize it or see it in a very negative light, and I know that the pandemic was really difficult, right? I know it was difficult for a lot of people. I know that a lot of bad things happened, but on the positive side, it did mean that, like, a lot of people got into a lot more gaming hobbies. It meant that people began to pay attention more to anime. It brought a whole bunch of people into, like, online reading spaces and forums and communities and everything like that. So I feel like there are a bunch of positives to the lockdown as well. While I don't necessarily think that all of them have been good in terms of persistence throughout, like, yes, I do think people probably need to interact more outside. I can't speak for myself on this. I cannot speak for myself on this. I still think that, like, it has been kind of good as a result, you know? Like, a lot of services, I don't think people realize this, but a lot of services for either online use or needing help or aid or assistance or whatever, as a result of the pandemic, now are way more updated. They now function for online use. A lot of places never used to offer online use of their services. For instance, now being able to, like, I don't know, book a doctor's appointment, being able to order things as home delivery, like some local stores, at least where I wasn't able to do that or weren't focusing on that, but because of lockdown they had to do it. And now there's a lot more online integration for things. Yet again, ads. I'm still so confused. You've got Prime. How are you getting ads? I thought Prime was meant to stop you from getting ads. Am I wrong? That seems a bit weird. But yeah, I think it's been a positive in the tech sector, maybe? I always in the middle of this sentence, I hate Nutwitch too. Nutwitch or new Twitch? Okay, new Twitch. I'll wait for you guys. I'm gonna drink some tea while the ads roll down. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I thought he said Nutwitch, but it's New Twitch. I realize that now. He said new Twitch. He did not say Nutwitch. I'm thinking it's strange that you, for whatever reason, have ads, Helios, because you shouldn't, right? You shouldn't have that, right? I don't know. Ooh, Shock Orbsorber is really good. Oh, did you ever watch sports anime? I have, but I'm very picky about which ones I ever do watch if I watch sports anime. I'm thinking to myself now that, like, of the ones that I have watched, one of them is called One Outs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a psychological anime, which is so good. I love One Outs. That's probably the one sport, if you consider or count like gambling and betting as being sports, then yeah. I've watched more sports anime, but if you only consider it like actual regular sports, I want to say regular as in oh, they're kicking a ball or they're tossing a ball or they're jumping around doing something, yeah, that's... I don't watch a lot of those. I do watch more psychological stuff, and I do watch a lot of, like, shows with stakes to them, which don't necessarily pertain to that. For instance, Ultimate Gambler Kaiji is a really good one. One Outs is really good. Is there anything else? Though, I feel like I don't know if I'd consider... Danganronpa a sports anime, but it does have a lot of the betting stuff and whatnot. It's just not the same. Technically, Celestia's whole thing is that, but still. Should have known you'd like psychological stuff. Yeah, exactly. Should have suggested School Days. I do not like the School Days anime. I do not like School Days anime. It is not good. However, I will say that the visual novel for School Days was good. The visual novel for School Days was good because I don't think people actually played the visual novel for School Days. I did, though. I played it. And the main difference between the anime and the visual novel is that the visual novel for School Days is a lot more reasonable. Like, genuinely a lot more reasonable. I'm talking, like, you don't get stabbed, first and foremost, if people were unaware. Whoops. What happens is just a regular dating sim. It's just slice of life. It's not much else to it. You just pick a couple of decisions, and the entire thing is well animated, so there's not a whole lot of reading to be done. You're just reading some of the choices and decisions that you can make. And that's, you know, it's pretty good, all in all. I quite enjoyed it nonetheless. And I feel like it's a bit of a shame that only the anime is remembered, but the visual novel itself isn't. Because the visual novel feels like it should be even more testament, like, oh man, the entire thing might only be a couple of hours long, but the entire thing is animated. So it's especially good for something like that. Then there's also... Oh no, now I'm just thinking of anime in general. I was gonna say, what was it? Kimi no Toko? Wait. Kimi no... What is the name of that one for the pink-haired girl with red eyes and the black-haired girl one that were both yandere and that would look at your save file or something? I've completely forgotten. But there was one like that as well, I suppose. I've forgotten the name to it. If you know, you know. This game hates me. This game hates me. Why can't I just go to one of the routes that I want to? Gosh, this sucks. I think I'm gonna lose. I'm going to die. Just apply as much slime as possible. This would have been great with multi-ball. Unfortunate that I haven't gotten a single instance of multi-ball. That sucks. Kimi no kanojo no kanojo no koi. That's it. That's it. I loved the visual novel to that. I felt really guilty triggering any of the yandere scenes, though. Because that requires that you save your game, complete the whole thing, unlock their ending, then you kind of betray them by going for someone else, and they're like, why didn't you pick me? Why didn't you love me? And I'm like, oh. That's yeah. I don't want to do that. Genuinely. I feel like that just hurts more than anything. And you know, I think that's probably the point of it as well, right? So oh well. Does this guy kill me? Oh my gosh. Why can he reflect 19 damage per hit? What a terrible mini boss. My gosh. By the way, Okami, have you thought of what you want to suggest? Any idea on what you might pick so far? You've had a bit of pondering time there. What do you think you're gonna pick? Let's do a Pebble build. I want to do a Pebble build. Let's see if we can do some of that. I love Yanderes, but I feel like Yan should be a good route more often. I think so as well. One of the main issues that I have whenever Yanderes show up in like stories overall is that they feel like unrightfully judged. Like, they only become or get to that point as being, like, violent or yanderes because every single time they get themselves involved or the main character, for whatever reason, involves them in a situation that's just, like, so unfair. Wait, oh, did you watch Chaos Head? I have watched Chaos Head. I haven't played the visual novel to it, and I know that the visual novel is insane. It's, like, way different. I've had some of the visual novels spoiled to me because I've got a friend who's really into the science adventure series. Or rather, I just know someone that's played Chaos Head. I think a bit of both, actually, because I've had this discussion as well with just, like, random people that I know who've played it. But the story to the visual novel is way different. And by way different, I mean that it has to extend way further than what the anime does. So it just ends up being wildly different as a result. So, yeah, I'm aware of it. It's pretty good. I also love the song to it. You're always super special. That's why you are here with me. Baby born on the same superstar. I'm gonna piggyback on Konosuba. Well, there's your vote then, I suppose. Wow. I'm kind of surprised you wouldn't have voted for something else. Okay. Just a Konosuba vote then in that case. And then we're gonna see. I'm curious what you guys are gonna pick. I know I can't vote for mine, so I'll see who I pick. I've not really heard of Amagi Brilliant Park. I've remembered it from like way back when, but not as a result of like me ever looking into it. I do recognize the characters though. I do recognize them because I've seen them around here and there. But not much else. Not much else. Mushishi has just been on my list, and that's kind of what I wanted to watch. Mushishi. But the rest of them? No. Slice of Life has never really been on my backlog or one of the things that I've gone out of my way to watch for somewhat obvious reasons that I've explained ad nauseum by this point. Konosuba, I've tried watching multiple times. It's just not worked for me. What do you mean, piggyback? He means that he's just not going to pitch a suggestion and he's going to not suggest anything at all. He just put something of your own up there. That's the point, no? He just wants to vote Konosuba as well, so he's not going to add anything because that would be his vote, or that's going to be the same one. So he's going to vote for Konosuba. Though, yeah, you can't just pitch something else if you want. Like, what's your second choice in that case? Like, you can still pitch something as a secondary, right? You can always say, well, oh, if Konosuba doesn't win, then maybe people vote for this one instead. And you can do something like that. Because there's no point having two of the exact same votes. Maybe I should address... I'll make like a little bit more extended of a rules list or whatever it is once we've decided on this, because now I'm realizing that people can just write down the exact same names of shows when I don't think that should be possible, or series or franchises or whatever. And I don't want people to... Well, no, I've already addressed it. I've already addressed that. We're going to be watching like 6 episodes or reading the equivalent of 6 episodes in terms of manga chapters for it, so that should probably be fine. Yeah. Well. I'm excited to see what we start off with, though. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I at least hope you guys think it's going to be a lot of fun as well, because I'm excited for it. It's a shame we can't suggest anything that only has a manga. If we get to the point where, like, we want more, then I can set up a separate manga reading group, because I know that sometimes manga groups or just regular book reading clubs, they decide to read an entire book within a certain amount of time, which I feel like is fair. And I want to do something similar for at least all of the current chapters of whatever series exists, but maybe we do it like per novel, because technically manga are typically longer. Typically. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a Pebble build unless I get a whole bunch of the relics, but they're not giving me any of the relics. I want to find the Orbalisk. Here. There we go. Now we can get rid of those. I don't know what my vote is going to be for. So far, I'm leaning a little bit to Blue Period, if I'm going to be honest. Blue Period sounds like it could be pretty fun. I don't know about Amagi Brilliant Park. Maybe I'll vote for that one as well. I don't know. I'm torn. I need to look up like a synopsis of every single one. I do this thing that whenever I decide on a series for myself, that I do a whole bunch of research on it before I even get close to thinking of like, you know what? I'm going to spend the rest of my evening reading or watching this one. And that's how I eventually come to a decision. But I'm really like into the particulars of it. So we'll see how this goes. I want my pebbles to have more effects, but I need to... There. I need to hit the Orbalisk. I think that's what I gotta do. So we're just gonna heal instead. And then I go left. Please do not throw me. Okay, my gosh. Orbalisk? It's not the Orbalisk. We can invest with the gambling. Invest 79. Here we go. And then we want to go to the right, in which case we should do that. Yeah? Yeah. Orbalisk? Nope. Just... See, this is one of the things that I really don't like about roguelikes. Why can a random node be a battle? Why does it even have the chance of being a battle? Do you think I want to fight and that's why I'm picking this? I know that they want to like maintain consistency and difficulty and whatnot, but honestly... I don't care. Just remove all random fights from unknown nodes. I don't like it. Remove it. Get rid of it now. Also, we're on Resident Evil 2 Remake. We're getting closer to the end of Leon's route, right? I'm quite curious to play through Claire's route. It is Claire, right? Look, another one. Why did I hate this? I hate this. So lame. So lame. Okay. Gosh, my throat is hurting more than I thought it would. Otherwise, we will do a bit of a manga-only club. I think we'll see. Maybe we increase it to like 9 or... I think we just double it. We go with 12 episodes. I think that's faster. So what we do at first is we check for the amount of episodes that people can manage, and we do 6. Then we see if people can do 6, then we move up to an entire season for an entire week. Then if that seems good enough, I think we stay there, because I think any more would mean that we're basically clearing out most animes, unless they're longer. But I'm not sure. I think that's a good place to start. And then we can see about if people feel like, oh, well, I want even more, then maybe we have a manga-specific club. Because I at least like to keep on track or be on top of new manga releases and whatnot. Like, I do really enjoy my fantasy mangas that come out as a result. So I don't see why not. Honestly, maybe that's just one of the things that we just do. We'll go to the right here, then we'll go to... Gosh, please don't drop down. Okay. I'm hoping that I don't just drop down onto the left side. Oh, okay. No, don't do it. Oh, thank gosh. Give me the Orbalisk. Duplicate an orb? Yeah, sure. Duplicate this. Give me the Orbalisk. Please. It's a random... This game doesn't like me. Okay. I'm thinking of maybe wrapping up a bit soon. I think we've discussed plenty about how the AniManga thing is going to go, but if you guys have any questions, just feel free to let me know and then I'll see about it. And I would still kind of say what Helios did, even if you feel like someone, or even if you think that it's fine that someone else has already suggested one of the shows or one of the mangas or animes that you want to watch/read, I still advise that you post something nonetheless, because maybe your second choice gets in, and then it's just a decision between that point. Because I'm going to have to mediate, so to speak, anyway, between what it is we're going to be watching, so unless there's like a very clear winner, and obviously I don't think anyone's made a joke suggestion, I'm just going to pick one of the answers and then we'll go from there. And then next Sunday, we'll talk about it. We'll see how far everyone's gotten, what parts you enjoyed the most, etc. And then we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go and see from there. No, not gonna pick that. And then chest. But honestly, I think I'm gonna end things there for today. Let's see. There it is. It has been wonderful to stream for you guys today. I know that I'm ending it a little bit early, but I'm going to finalize it there. You've all had, I hope, your chance to post whatever suggestions that you have, and then we're going to begin reading that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll spend the next week reading or going through that. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in today. And I'll see you tomorrow with some Resident Evil 2 remake. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend or the start of your week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.